coordinator, then I built my way up to being a project manager, and also
Hi, Emmanuel.
hi.
Yeah, I think your audio is a little bit faint. Is there anything you can do to make it louder?
It is faint.
Yeah, it's a bit faint from here.
Just give me a minute. Sorry, guys.
Recording in progress.
Okay. All right, just 1 second, guys. So Emmanuel is going to come back shortly, so that I'll be sure that we hear everything that he has to tell us tonight. Okay. So Emmanuel, once you're back, just indicate so that we'll be able to. Okay, I think he's in. Emmanuel, you are there, right?
Back. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, fantastic. I think this is better.
This is way better.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got into project management 7 years ago. I was project coordinator. Then I transitioned into being project manager. And over a couple of years, I've used or harnessed a couple of skills, gone through a couple of trainings that have helped me use different methodologies in project management, which is from the Agile methodology to the Agile methodology to the waterfall methodology. So we're here to talk about Agile today, right? And the thing is, people think Agile methodology is a single brand, it's a single aspect of project management, which is not. Agile is an umbrella for various methodologies. So under Agile, we have things like Kanban, we have Lean Six Sigma, we have Scrum, and other things. So I'm going to be focusing on the Scrum today. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to give like a brief summary of what Scrum is. So Scrum is an agile methodology where you do things in iterations, right? So being agile is a mindset where you always, when someone tells you, oh, you have to be agile or you are agile, means you are quick thinking, you are quick to make decisions, you're quick to, how do I put it? You're quick to move forward, right? So unlike the waterfall methodology of project management, where we focus on doing things step by step, so we have to do this before we do this and do this. That's why it's called the waterfall, because it goes step by step. Agile takes things in iterations and does it, refines it, and it brings out better processes. So I'm going to, the Agile framework goes this way. So there's always a plan, the planning phase, which is constant in every project management methodology. There's always the planning phase. Then there's the design phase. Then there's develop. Then there's the test. There's deploy. Then you review and you launch your product. So, for example, I'm going to give you an example. I want to make a phone, right? So we're going to decide that we're going to plan what the phone is going to be like. We're going to design it, and we're going to be like, okay, so let's start with the screen. Let's figure out how to make the screen or how to make the OS, that's the operating system that's in the phone. So we do that, then we test it out, we bring it out and test it out, then we find out what's wrong, the errors, then we fix it and do it again. So Agile is done in iterations, and iteration just means simple word for repetitive, or you just do it again over and over till you get it right. So in Scrum, we have a couple of people that play like vital role in Scrum. We have the product owner. So this is basically like putting like a manager. He's the person that bridges the gap between your stakeholders and your the Agile team. So he's the one that comes with an idea. He's the one that comes with, oh, this is what we are supposed to do. This is what our stakeholders want us to do. So if you want to design a phone, let's keep using a phone for example. He's the one that's going to come to the team and say, oh, our stakeholders want the phone to be gray. They want the phone to be able to fly. They want the phone to do this and do that. So he's the product owner. He basically oversees the products that the team is going to do. Then we have the Scrum Master. He's like a servant leader. I call the Scrum Master is in basic project management terms. The Scrum Master is a project manager, but he in the Scrum team just make sure that he's a servant leader in ways that he oversees the Scrum team. He makes sure that there's no roadblock in, when I mean roadblocks, like they are not experiencing any failure, like what the tasks they have been given to do, they're not experiencing any roadblocks in it. So he's basically just there to oversee the team. Then we have the team members of the Agile team, which can consist of developers, designers, people that do UI, UX, business analysts, different people. So there are a couple of terms I'm going to walk us through, just a brief lesson on Scrum. So we have things, when you hear about things like product backlog, we're talking about product backlog, we're talking about the things that have been broken down by the Scrum Master and the product owner into various parts and is assigned to the team to do. So let me use a form, for example, right? So this form consists of a screen, an OS, a charging port, speakers, different things. So your product backlog is going to be all those things broken down. So we know we're making a form, that's the final product. But your product backlog is consisting of those different things. Then we're going to have user stories. These are broken down tasks. So when we have the screen, for example, and all those things that make up the product backlog, in the screen, we still have different things. We still have like the LED display, in the speakers, we still have various other things. So user stories make up the product backlog, right? Then we have things like the sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is, so in Agile, in Scrum, there's something we call a sprint. A sprint is a period of time, is a time box in which the Scrum team is given to achieve a task. So let's say I have the task to make sprints, right? And within that sprint, the sprint is usually 2 weeks. Depends on what your project is and how big your organization is. So the sprint is usually 2 weeks. So within those 2 weeks, I'm supposed to achieve a series of tasks which have been given to me. So those fit into my sprint backlog. Then we have things like sprint planning, which I told you, planning is always constant in every project management methodology. We have to plan before you start your project. So the sprint planning is basically just the meeting that is held before the sprint where tasks are being divided into various team members for their sprint backlog. Then you have things like daily scrum, or some people like to call it daily stand-up. Daily scrum is basically just a 15-minute meeting where you have with your team and find out, what went well yesterday, what's going well today, what are you planning to do for tomorrow. It's it's as simple as that. That's what makes up of your daily scrum. And that is controlled by the Scrum Master. Then we have sprint review. So sprint review is held at the end of each sprint, and it's basically like a retrospective with the team to find out, within these 2 weeks of the time box you are given, what went well, what did you do, what are we doing, what tasks didn't you do, what are we moving over to the next sprint, and things like that. So basically what I just summarized to you is Scrum in 10 minutes. I don't know how long I took, 5 minutes. But yeah, so that's Scrum basically for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. It's good to have you. And I hope everyone on the call that have heard what Emmanuel had to say pertaining to Agile project management and how he also was able to get into this exact line. So I'm going to share my screen so that we're going to get right into the panel session where we're going to be having discussions pertaining to Agile project management, Scrum Master, and every single thing that you need to know for you to break into the tech ecosystem without writing any single line of code. So let me confirm that my lineup is complete, that I have my C. Ronaldo and my Messi on the call with me right here. Okay, I think Josephine is here. Let me confirm that Jabber is also here as well. Okay, hi Kaja, please make Jabber a co-host. All right, so we are going to get right into it. Let me bring up my screen. so that we all understand what we are doing tonight. But if you are still here up to this very moment, please type in a 1 or type in any number or any emoji so that I'll be sure that you are still following us to this very moment and I can clearly hear what we are saying. All right, so guys, let's have it. Let's not make it a dull conversation. So it's going to be a panel discussion where also get you up to speed with every single thing that you need to know. Okay, hi, Khadija, please confirm that my screen is up. Okay, I can see a couple of ones dropping in the chat box. Fantastic. Okay, Khadija, I think
No, we
please keep my...
can't see your screen.
Okay, it's coming up right now. I don't know why I can't share though. Okay, I can share now. All right, it's coming up now. It's coming up. So while we're dropping it, hi, Josephine. Hi, Jabre. How you're doing today? Hi, Josephine. Hi, Jabre.
Hi, Chikoimeka.
Hi, how are you doing?
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you're loud enough for us.
I'm doing well.
Fantastic.
Yes, I think that my camera comes up. I am doing well.
All right, it's good to have you on the call here tonight. Okay, so I'm going to quickly introduce the amazing panelists that we have before us, Josephine Bosa. So Josephine is a certified professional Scrum Master with more than a decade of experience using Agile methodologies. And as a senior Scrum Master, she helped more than I think 1,000 right now with no prior technical background transition into Agile project management. And her experience spans across senior Scrum Master in a fintech that she refused to disclose to us so that we will not come and carry her away. And also she practiced as an implementation and Agile. She practiced implementation of Agile methodologies and frameworks. And also she is a speaker and contributor in the Agile community. She worked in the financial services and also the edtech sector, and I've personally trained close to or more than 500 participants, helping them to get into the Agile project management track. So we have an amazing person with us tonight to speak to us on all these things that we need to know. And with me on the call also is Jabre Ibrahim. Hi, Jabre. Are you there? Please say something so that I'll be sure that you are on the call with us tonight. Hi, Jabre.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you. Hi, Jabre. It's good to see your face again. I like the new hairstyle right now.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Hi, Josephine.
Okay. So Jabre is a seasoned project delivery manager and also a Scrum Master with close to a decade experience in Agile project management and business analysis. And he has successfully led Agile transformations across industries like tech and financial services. And he strongly focuses on driving team collaboration, removing impediments, and delivering high quality products aligned with business goals. So Jabre, his expertise includes implementing Agile methodologies like Scrum, SAF, and Lean, and also managing complex projects. And it also includes coaching Agile teams and aligning stakeholder requirements with strategic objectives. And he's also very, very instrumental with providing hands-on training and consultation to optimize organizational processes. So if you are just joining us, we have a full squad, right? So we have the lineup of Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, and who is the third person we are going to use to liken this triad right now? So who is the third person we are going to use? See Ronaldo, Messi, and who else? You guys should help me in the chat box. Mbappe, he's too young. He's too young to play in the league of in this exact league. But this to tell everyone that we have amazing people with us tonight. So please make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleagues are also dropping so that you get the slide that we're using for this session and also the recording of this exact session. Okay, make sure that you fill the exact attendance so that you get the slide and also be able to get the recording of this session. So we are going to get right into this discussion tonight on how do you break into the tech industry without writing any single line of code. Okay, but before we dive right into it, I will ask Josephine and Jabre. Okay, I think I'll go with Josephine first because it's always ladies first, right, Josephine?
That's not fair, but I take it. I'll take
All
it.
right. All right,
All
Josephine.
right.
So, Josephine, so basically, how will you explain agile project management to a 5-year-old you? Okay, so let's assume if you have your 5-year-old before you, how are you going to explain what agile project management is to that exact individual? All right, so you have the floor, Josephine.
Thank you very much, Chukwemeka. That's actually a very good question. And guys, pray for my network. All right, there's no forming in this thing. I'm in Nigeria, Abuja. So guys, you better pray for my network to go through. Okay, so before I get into it, I want to know how many 5-year-olds are here. All right, because you're asking me 5-year-old just so I need to know how many 5-year-olds are here so I'll know what I'm working with.
We are a lot, actually. So we have people that are new, trying to break into agile project management, trying to get into the tech industry, and would assume that they are still babies in that exact, concept. All right.
I
So
see some hands up. Okay, cool. All right, that's fine. So when you're talking about explaining agile project management to a 5-year-old, this is how I'm going to look at it. All right. So let's say, of course, Josephine, I'll take the heart of a 5-year-old Josephine this evening. So if, for instance, I want to build a Lego castle, for instance, and in building that Lego castle, I don't just go ahead and build everything from the start. So what I need to do as a 5-year-old, of course, is what I'm talking about. What I need to do is I build a part of my castle, and say if I'm building a part of my castle, I want to start with the tower. So I build the tower and I try to check out if it's good. Then I ask my friends, how do they feel about this? Because as a 5-year-old, I have a couple of friends. I'm going to look into this room and try to recruit friends myself. So remember that I'm building a Lego castle, and in building this Lego castle, I don't go ahead to build everything from the scratch. So I build a part of it. And then in building a part of it, I'm concentrating on the tour. And then I ask my friends, I'm just pick my friends from the tour here. I said from the tour, from the panel here, I'm going to pick Jabir, okay? So I asked Jabir and says, what do you think about this tour part of my castle? Okay, this is the part I'm focusing on. And he said, you know what, this is good, this is nice, good work, go ahead. And I go back to start building other parts of it because I've gotten that thumbs up from Jabir that it is great. Now, but if Jabir has said, oh, Justin, I don't like this tour, it's not nice, it's not great, I think you should do it this way, I think you should do it that way, I'm going to go back, change it, and come back to Jabri to make sure that he likes what I'm building, okay? So in explaining Agile project management, it's about building things little by little, checking out if it's good, and then, I hope my network was not disrupted. I think it took me out a bit.
No, it's
can you
not.
hear me?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So agile project management is about building things little by little, checking it out if it's great, and then changing it, going back to change it, and making sure that the end product is something everybody likes. So in building my Lego castle, I don't just go ahead and build everything. Go ahead and say, okay, I'm completing the Lego castle at first breath. So with agile project management as the 5-year-old, I start with a part of my castle. I focus on the tour. And then I have friends who I show the tour and say, what do you think about this? Do you like it? If they give me a thumbs up that they like it, I go back and start building other parts of my castle. But if they don't like it, I go back to change it, come back to them and say, what do you think about this? Until I get that thumbs up from them, I cannot build other parts of my castle. So in summary, agile project management is about doing things bit by bit, checking if it's good, going back to change it. And at the end of the day, you're building something everybody likes. And that everybody is the user. Am I audible, guys? Am I audible?
Yeah, I think we lost you there for a moment, but you're back right now.
Okay, I'm back. Great. So just to recap what I said, agile project management is about building things in bits and then checking if it's good, going back to change it. But at the end of the day, you're coming up with something everybody likes. And that thing is from the user. That's something you're coming up that everybody likes. Everybody there is the user. So as a 5-year-old, I'm not just going to go ahead and complete my castle from start to finish. I'm going to be building a part of it, showing my friends, getting that thumbs up from them, getting the nudge from them before I conclude every part of my castle that I'm building. So that's what Agile project management is. It's building little by little, bit by bit, until you've completed all parts of that project that you're working on.
All right.
Thank
You so much, Josephine. So Josephine said that she's going to explain Agile project management to the 5-year-old her as you are building in bits. For instance, she wants to build a castle, right? And after building a little bit, she's going to ask questions, get feedback, and implement all those things until she gets a go-ahead. That's when she will know that she's complete. And that's what Agile project is all about, building in bits. So I'm going to ask Jabir as well. Jabir, I hope I'm not murdering your name. Please, can you help me pronounce your name the correct way first? All right.
Actually, you're actually pronouncing it right. So it's Jabir. It's just 1-2 syllables. Jabir,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Jabir, so Jabir, how are you going to explain Agile project management to the 5-year-old you? All right. And someone is also asking, maybe they can also get a live example so that they will be able to understand and link it and be able to, put all of them together. All right. Let's have it, Jabir.
All right, thanks. To be very honest, I don't know if I can even put it better the way Josephine has really explained it. And she has really explained it in a way that a 5-year-old can actually understand. So just allow me to just boot up on what you said so that then I can now bring up like a real lifetime experience to now, cover it up with. So just like Josephine said, yeah, imagine yourself building a Lego. If you are going to build a Lego, you can't just start building and find yourself with probably a big structure, a big mansion of Lego. You literally have to start from scratch. So just like also how what Emmanuel said is in Agile, we deliver value in iteration. So what that means is that while you're building that Lego, you're doing that in bits, you're doing that in different iterations, you're doing that in different time blocks. So what that means is that, again, you're building that Lego in different chunks. So it means that once you start from week 1, by the time you are in, let's say maybe week 36, you might probably have done maybe about 18 boxes of work. So imagine the what you get after 18 weeks, when you are building something from scratch. So given a real-time example, I think I'll just jump in to say today I think every one of us uses some sort of application on your phone. So be it your bank application, be it your social media application, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or wherever it is. So imagine that application probably 5 years ago. It's totally different. So put it side by side, 5 years ago and right now, you are going to see a lot of changes, a lot of evolvement of that application. And how are they able to do that? They are able to do that by getting a lot of feedback from those users of that application, and then working on the application in chunks to provide you with those updates. That's why once in a while you see updates happening with your application. It's because there's probably a new feature, a new security feature coming on, and things like that. So this is basically what Agile project management is about: building in chunks, building your solution in chunks by also leveraging on user feedback. So Josephine mentioned when you're building a castle, you need to ask your friends, oh, but do you like it? Is this good? So getting feedback from your end users, getting feedback from your stakeholders, that is what will, help you in making sure that that application that you're building it to literally suit your user needs. But again, remember here, we're just talking about how you can actually provide that value to your end users. So Agile project management just allows you to do that in bits, taking feedback from your users and, getting way to always improve your product or whatever it is. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Jabir.
I
So
hope
basically, Jabir is... No, we heard you loud and clear. So Jabir
right.
is also reiterating what Josephine mentioned, that it's all about building one after the other, getting feedback and making sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be before you move on, right? So guys, I hope you are with your pen and paper. And also, if you have a question, please feel free to write it down so that after this exact panel session, you're going to ask the panelists any question that you want. Okay, so I'm going to call on Emmanuel. So Emmanuel, basically, I believe inside Agile, there are some technical, maybe a non-technical, or maybe inside the tech ecosystem, there are technical career paths that exist, and then there is also the non-technical career path that exists, right? So how can someone without a coding background, get and break into this exact tech industry? I mean, taking yourself for an example, I think you studied political science. Josephine studied, I think, public admin. I think Jabra is the only one that studied computer software engineering. So we have people that is in that. Myself, I studied civil engineering. Okay, so we have everyone coming from different background. So how can they be able to get into this exact industry and excel in it? And also, what's the technical background that they need to have for them to, be influential in this exact APM? I hope you grabbed that, Emmanuel.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. So first of all, I'll mention a couple of non-technical fields that we have in Agile. Please forgive me, I always keep saying project management because in general terms, everything is project management to me, right? So, I'm going to mention a couple of non-technical things we have in Agile. So we have things like the product owner, we have the Scrum Master, we have the project manager, I call them Scrum Master, we have business analysts, we have UI UX. There are various fields you can go into when going into being part of Scrum or going into an Agile team, right? Like take me for example, I work for software engineering company, that's how I put it, software engineering. I know nothing about engineering, I know nothing about software, none of the two. But I am the project manager and most of the projects we have to run for like big companies, like I can't mention their names, but we have to run for big companies. So a couple of things you have to do or take into cognizance when you want to get into project management and specifically want to get into Agile is first of all say Agile, like I said earlier, Agile is a mindset, right? You have to have a mindset of continuous improvement. You have to have a mindset of, okay, this is not working, let's do this way. This is not working, let's do this way. My fellow panelists said building on top things like making corrections and improving on whatever you've built. So you should not mistake that for waterfall, because waterfall is building one after another. It's a structured system of project management. But Agile is various teams, various people, building several things, coming back together. Oh, let's see, put this together, put this together, put this. Okay, it doesn't work. We go back again, do the same thing again, come back. So that's what we do in our sprints and come back for sprint review. So things you have to do when you want to move into Agile is, first of all, understand what project management is. Understand things like, there are things that are always constant in project management, like you always have your constraints, which is your cost, time, and money. Sorry, your budget, time frame, and listening, and your stakeholders. Those are always constant in project management. And also, you have to understand the difference between the different kinds of project management, which is waterfall and Agile. Now, moving into Agile, you also have to understand that Agile is an umbrella term for various kinds of project management, which is various kinds of Agile methodologies, which is like Kanban or Scrum or Lean Six Sigma or UX. There are different methodologies under Agile. So you can decide to, or not decide, you have to be familiar with each of those ones, each of them, and know where your strength lies, apart from where your strength lies, what you want to pursue in the Agile project management. And also, you have to go into trainings and get familiarized, like I said, get familiar with these terms of Agile. Then you also have to take certifications like the Lean Six Sigma certification or the certified Scrum Master or the professional Scrum Master. Any of those certifications could help you get into Agile. And you don't, to be honest, to take any of these certifications, you don't need any technical skill, you don't need to learn how to write a code, you don't need anything. You just need proper coaching and you go through the Scrum handbook, the Agile handbook, and you're good to write the exam, you're good to take any of the certifications. Then you need to develop a strong communication and collaboration skills. So Agile is, the word Scrum came from rugby, if I'm not mistaken. It came from rugby, which means, who has seen how they play rugby, where they have a ball and a couple of things, the teams, they lock their heads together and they throw the ball in the middle. And the other team is trying to push against the other team. So they're going, I think that's just what I think. That's where Scrum, that's where the word Scrum came from. So it means teams doing things together and iteratively. So the way that when they miss the ball, they restart again from wherever they stopped and move forward. So that's where Scrum came from. So you always have to learn how to develop a collaborative skill with your team members and also develop a good, very good communication skill, because 90% of what you do in project management, all true, every project manager will tell you this, 90% of what you do in all projects is communicate. You always communicate. Either you're communicating with your team members, your key stakeholders, your vendors, your outsourced resources, anybody. 90% of what you do in project management, or 90% of what you're always going to be doing in project management, and it applies the same to Agile, is communication. You have to focus, you have to learn how to get strong stakeholder management, or like my panelists called it, the end users. Any stakeholders are anybody that has interest in your project. So from the people using the, if we're making a form, for example, or making an application, from the people using the application to their team members, to the stakeholders, that the company you're working for, your key stakeholders that have, or the steering committee that have interest in the application you're making. You have to have strong stakeholder management where you are able to communicate to all of them and get across their ideas. Because like I said, a product owner is not a technical part. What you do is basically you meet with your stakeholders, you meet with the user, you're going to meet somebody and tell you, oh, I want your team to develop an application that's able to scan or do anything. And the person tells you, oh, I want this application to look like this, I want this application to look like this. As a product owner, your key responsibility is to go back to the Scrum team and you tell them, oh, this is what this person wants to deliver. So you have to have strong stakeholder management to do that. So you'll be able to understand the needs of your stakeholders. Another thing you have to learn how to do is prioritize and decision making. So you always have to learn how to do various things, how to prioritize various tasks. Because like I said, the sprint backlog is a backlog of what they are giving to you as a team member to do for the sprint. So you have to know how to prioritize which comes first and which comes this. You have to do analysis and know what will affect this and what will affect this. So you have to know what comes first. Not going to dive into like major details. Another thing you have to do is adopt a continuous learning mindset. I cannot overemphasize on this. So when you're going into Agile, or when you want to become Agile, like I told you, Agile, I say this all the time, Agile is a mindset. You have to always have the mindset of continuous learning and continuous improvement. That is the basis, the foundation of Agile. Continuous learning, continuous improvement. Agile came from, before we had just waterfall methodology in project management. Agile came from when IT companies, why people think it's for IT companies? Because IT companies came up with it. If you remember back in, let's say, 2012, back in the years 2012, 2010, you received emails like, oh, I'm going to be experiencing, your software is sending an email, oh, I'm going to be experiencing downtime within this period, we're going to do upgrade, whatever. And within that period, let's say from 12 a.m. to whatever time, your application is going to be down. But IT companies came up with a different methodology where they're saying, oh, we don't need to do all this at once, where we have to crash the whole application and nobody can do it and upload a new software at once. Why can't we do it bit by bit? So when in your application, let's say your Amazon application now, they want to change the way you make bank payments. Instead of making the change to the whole application and uploading a new software, you just make that little change to that how you make bank payments. You make a little change to how you order things to your cart instead of making everything at once. So you always have to have a mindset of continuous improvement and a mindset of continuous learning. You always have to take things, learn with it, run with it, and go from there. I'm sorry, I use a lot of hand gestures. It's just what I'm used to. I think
That's
those are
all right.
I-
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I mean, Emmanuel said a couple of things. So, guys, if you're on this call, I hope you have your pen and your paper. I have mine, so you make sure that you have yours because that's the only way you can be able to capture everything that we are putting here. So, Emmanuel mentioned a couple of things like you need to get training, you need to get certification, you need to develop a strong communication skill because as an agile person, you have to do a lot of communication. And also you need to have strong stakeholder management, of course, adopt a continuous learning mindset. So I'll bring that question also to you, Josephine. As someone that has been able to move from public administration into where you are right now, so I'm not going to ask you to, tell us. I'm just going to tell you to speak from your own experience, right? So from your own side, personalize it, and how were you able to move into getting into agile project management from political science, and what skills and experiences aided your own transition as well? Hi, Josephine,
Thank
did you
you
get
so
that?
much, Chukwemeka, for that question. First thing, yes, I did get that. Can you hear me? Is my network bad? This bad? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Am I
Initially it
audible?
was, but yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so I did get that. Thank you so much for that question. And each time I'm being asked this question, one of the things I say is the motivating factor is money. I love money. I'm an Igbo girl. I'm from the Igbo speaking tribe of Nigeria. So whatever that has motivated me to tech, first thing, let's just get the first thing straight is the money. I love tech money. So I understand that in tech, they are being paid well. I did my research. I Googled how much a Scrum Master is being paid. And I'm like, this is good money. So I'm not even going to stay here and pretend that, oh, I wanted to be part of one project or the other. I saw that it was great money. And I've tried my hands on web development at some point, and I knew it was just, crazy coding and all of that. Okay, apologies for my network if you guys are not hearing me. Please let me know if my voice is low or stop. Okay, so for me, I came from a non-tech background, an entirely non-tech background. There's nothing relating to tech. And I remember I started out as a content writer, worked for a company as a content writer. And during my journey doing content writing, the CEO approached me and said, Justine, I think you need to start creating content on Scrum. And I didn't know jack about Scrum. So, but I had to do the job. I mean, you have to get paid. Okay. So I said, trying to research, went to a couple of training sites, just, did general research. And I found out that, okay, this thing is even interesting. And one of the things that I loved about Scrum was that, first of all, I don't need to code because I've tried coding and it did not work. Like it did not work. I'll code for 1 hour and it looks like as if I've coded for 5 years. So how are we going to survive in this work? So I said, okay, this is great. And then I noticed that Scrum has some things in terms of soft skills. The career part is that part where you can transfer the skills that you currently have where you're working and take it into Scrum. And Scrum is a leadership role. I love leadership. I've been in leadership positions for a while. So it was just easy to transition. About leading the team, about making sure that the team is high performing. This was even before Scrum. And I noticed that, okay, I have good communication skills, I have good listening skills, I have good forecasting skills, and a lot of things that the Scrum Master has to be in terms of soft skills outside the, other skills that you need to have. I have it. So it was something that was easy to transition into. So I took it more serious, all right? I took it more serious. And while I was creating content for Scrum, I got more curious on this career path. And I just did a little bit of research. And I noticed that even though it was popular in Nigeria, it wasn't that popular. A lot of us were focused on being a software engineer, a data analyst, name it, DevOps engineer, and the rest of it. And there were people who didn't know that, okay, there's an easier in quotes, an easier route to tech. So that was what piqued my interest, that I could also function in tech and don't necessarily have to code. All I need to do is understand how to use tools and also bring my soft skills to fore. So what I did was, okay, that was great. I decided to try my hands on some training and then went through the Scrum Guide. The Scrum Guide was the Bible for me. I understood what I needed to do. That if I needed to understand Scrum from end to end, I need to understand the principles. I needed to understand the concept. So those things were easy to digest. All right, but I'm going to admit, the first time I read the Scrum Guide was like reading Portuguese, mix it with French, and then add a little bit of Afghanistan inside. I didn't understand it. But I was driven. The motivating factor for me was money. It was good. It was not too good. I never believed that I don't have to necessarily be a software engineer, but I can earn as much as a software engineer, which was great. And I don't even need to code. All right. So that was how the journey started. And I mean, thank God for me. The first Scrum interview, I landed my first Scrum job, and we've been moving up the ladder, and we're here. And it's just great because when I look at the rave about tech today, and a lot of us are squeezing ourselves into places that you naturally cannot function. All right. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with my network right now. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, we can hear you, Josephine. Just go ahead. We can hear you.
Oops. I need to be back.
Hi, Josephine. Okay, I think we lost Josephine there for a moment. Okay, Josephine will still definitely come back to you. All right, so what Josephine mentioned include that what motivated her into transition in first is money. So she heard, okay, there is money in tech. She wants to get into the tech ecosystem, and she doesn't want to. She tried her hands on coding. It didn't work out for her. And then she said, okay, I need to break into this industry through the aspect of Scrum, which is related to Agile project management, right? And the most important thing you need to know is that Josephine moved from being a content creator. Okay, she started off from her boss then asked her, okay, please create a content for Scrum. And that's what piqued her own interest into moving into Scrum. All right. So if you are here and you're a content creator or you're into communications, you're into anything, just know that you also can be able to get into Agile project management and also be part of the tech ecosystem. And that is the no code area of the tech industry. So I'm just going to ask Jabril this question also, so that I can easily go around. Jabril, how were you able to also transition from your own side? What's your own story like?
All right. Hi, Chikome, can you hear me? Am I still audible?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, great. So, to be very honest, my story is a bit different from Josephine's. I've always been in tech. So, I studied software engineering, just like you've mentioned. And my first job was literally with a tech company as well. So, they work with public sector. So I literally just grew in the tech world basically. But I've been transitioning from one position to another, and all this position that have been actually taken, there's really no one that required me to write code like that. Even though yes, I did study software engineering, but the beauty of it is you could literally go into wherever sector that you want, wherever part of the tech world you want to be in. So if you want to go into the technical route, you can be a software engineer or whatever. You can also be business analyst, quality assurance, and whatnot. So as I was saying, myself, I literally just grew. I started off as quality assurance, sorry, as a customer service basically. So I was just customer interfacing. Then I got an opportunity. Someone reviewed my CV and they were like, "Oh, you studied software engineering. Oh, please come." So they took me into the still within the company. They took me in to be a quality assurance. So what I was doing basically is more as like, be the one testing the systems that this developers develop. So I did that a lot. I obviously with a lot of documentations in between. From that, I move on to be a business analyst. Again, I have a bit of background, so it was a bit easier for me to just switch in and just probably taking few training or few certifications and just moving. So yeah, from there, moving to business analysis. I did that for quite some time, 4 or 5 years or thereabout. And then from there, I transitioned fully into the project management, where I also did PM as well as Scrum Master. So I've always been in tech, but just like Josephine was trying to emphasize on, it's really okay. It's I wouldn't say easy, but it's if you are richly thinking of moving into tech and you feel like you don't have that background, you don't need to have that background. There are lots of things that you can leverage on. So your existing skills. So wherever you're coming from, whether you're wherever it is, wherever sector it is, there's gonna be a lot of soft skills that you can easily transfer into the tech world. So yeah, that's literally my story.
All right, thank you so much, Jabril. So Jabril has the tech background already, but what he's trying to tell us is that you can leverage any experience from anywhere you're coming and also using it to get into the Agile project management track and be able to build yourself from there. Okay, so I don't know, Josephine, we've lost her there, but we're going to move on. So Emmanuel, I'm going to, send this question to you because it's actually very, very important, right? I know this is a little bit off the plan, but to you, which do you consider more important? Getting the skill and experience, pursuing a degree, and also getting a certification? That's with respect to transitioning right now. Is it for me to go and train, get the skill, get the experience, or for me to go to school, go and study project management, or this case may be, or for me to start pursuing certifications? So which one is it for you?
That's a very tricky question. So I think they are important in various ways in terms of either of them can land you a job, right? So one thing I tell people is always be ready. So if you have the certifications and you also don't, and you have the certifications and you don't have the experience, you might still get the job, right? And learn on the job, or you might start from somewhere. Like I said, I started as a project coordinator. Or you have the skills and you don't have the certifications. I know a lot of project managers today that don't have a PMP, and they've been project managers for years. But I would say they are all very important. They're all integral facts in you landing a good job. So we should not leave A and take B. We should not leave B and take A. So I think we should all just put everything together. But if you don't have the experience, start from getting the certification. Just start from getting the certification. Then when you get the certification, then you look towards getting the experience. Because if you go and apply, to be honest, you come to apply for a job. You have a project management or Agile experience. I'm going to look at, what do you know about project management? What certifications do you have? What skills have you taken? What skills do you have? And so that's it. So if you don't have the experience and you're trying to get into the field, I think you should get the certifications and trainings to get into the field. So everything is all important, but if you have one without the other, you can still get into the field.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Emmanuel. So Emmanuel said if you do not have a certification, it's important for you to get the skill and get the experience to break into the industry. And also, you also decide to pursue the certification aspect, come back, get the skill and get the experience, and also get that exact job. So it boils down to you need all of them. But one thing that I picked from Emmanuel's conversation is that the skill is important. All right. So it doesn't end with you trying to get a certification from anywhere. It boils down to you need that exact skill and experience for you to be fully agile project manager. Imagine you are managing a team of people, and the people you are managing are the ones that, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what an APM is supposed to do. So it simply means that you have the need to get all those necessary skill and experience. All right. So thank you so much for that, Emmanuel. I think the next question is also for you. I hope you don't mind, right? And it's about how important is having a mentor when pursuing the agile career path. How important is it for you to have someone you're looking up to when you're pursuing a career in agile project management?
Sorry about that. I think it's very important for you to have a mentor whenever you're pursuing anything, to be honest. Someone you're looking up to, someone that is going to put you through, someone that will give you advice. I had a young man reach out to me on LinkedIn, which they were there. He was trying to tell me, oh, he needs to do something in project management. How does it go? What does he do? This. And I told him a couple of things. So having a mentor or having someone that you can ask for advice, someone that has been there, someone that has gone through the hurdles is quite very important. Like what I'll tell people today, sorry, this is a bit off. What I'll tell people today is agile project management is used for any industry you want to go to. So you can use it in tech, you can use it in healthcare, you can use it in construction, you can use it in fintech, so getting the skill and getting the mentorship from someone that has been through or that has experience in this field is very, very important. And he also, having a mentor will also give you real world application or development, in the sense that if someone comes to meet me and tells me about this, I will show you things I've done personally in this project, or I'll tell you about real world experience, or for example, if you're in this program, they will probably give you real world scenarios for you to analyze and for you to put yourself in the scenario of being a project manager. So when eventually you get into the field, you are already prepared, like, oh, I've been there, I've done this because someone has put me through this. Or you're not just there like blank, I don't know what to do. You might need some walking through, you might need some steps, you might start from baby steps, but it's not new to you. So having a mentor and networking is very important in building a career in any field, to be honest, but in project management is very important, because project management requires you leading people. It requires the leadership skills, it requires your communication skills, it requires a couple of skills that which you have to harness. But these skills, you can get them from, or you can get them, you can have someone that will put you through them, that has been through them and put you through it. So basically, that's very important, having a mentor that is going to put you through everything.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Manuel. So Manuel mentioned it's very important for you to have someone that will put you through the ladder. Okay, for it to be easier for you, you need to have someone that is going to put you through that exact ladder. So if you're just joining us, please ensure that you fill the attendance form so that you get the recording of this session and also the slide that we are using for these sessions, where you're going to see all these things that we're talking about. And it's going to be very, very easy for you to easily assimilate everything. So I'm going to come to you, Jaber. So with respect to agile project management, how does it differ in industries like the fintech, the health tech, the different oil and gas? Can agile project manager work in these several sectors, and how does it really play out fully? Just talk to me like a layman.
All right. Thanks, Chukwemeka. So, funny enough, my experience kind of is centered around fintech. I've worked with edtech. I've worked with normal tech companies that just take on public sector projects as well. So I've gone around in the industry. So to be very honest, in terms of the agile project management, it's the same in terms of the process, the framework, everything is the same within all these different industries. The only thing that differs are obviously the elements that comes in within the work within your own industry. So elements like regulatory and compliance, that's when you talk about fintech, when you talk about healthcare, when you talk about health. So all these industries, they have different institutions or organizations that literally regulate their doings. So interactions in terms of those is a bit different. And then what else? Again, just to center around the agile project management in terms of the framework and what we do in those industries, everything is just the same. The framework is the same, whether you're in healthcare, whether you're in fintech, whether you're in edtech. Again, so the challenges that comes around is just it comes around with the things you deal with, the stakeholders that you deal with, or the again, regulatory or whatever regulatory commissions you deal with in that industry. So if you're wondering whether you have to, after you get into tech, what kind of industry do you want to get into? What kind of industry do you want to get into? Again, it really doesn't matter. So far as you have the certifications, you have the experience, you can easily just go around. Again, just like I said, the framework and everything that you do within the project management of within all these industries is just the same. So yeah, Chukwemeka, so that's
All right.
basically what
All right, thank you so much for that, Jabre. All right, so what Jabre is trying to say is that the framework is the same. So whether you're learning Agile project management in Nigeria, whether you're learning it in UK, US, Canada, the framework is the same. And it simply means that that skill is a universal skill. It's something that if you move today out of Nigeria or out of Ghana, out of South Africa, and go to any different country, the framework still remains the same. And it's also the same thing across the sectors of the economy. Whether you are moving from oil and gas to health sector to fintech, it's just the different elements that plays in that industry that is going to differ, but the framework remains the same. And it simply means that as an agile project manager, you have the opportunity to be able to work in different sectors of the economy. So you're not just limited to, you are going to be in the financial space, or you're going to be in oil and gas, or you're going to be in FMCG or logistics. So you fully have the access to multiple sectors of the economy. So I think this question is for you also, Emmanuel. So what are the misconceptions that people have about agile project management, people that are outside the field? What are the various misconceptions that is making them to be scared to get into that exact sector? All right.
So yes, there are a couple of things like what you just said before. People think that Agile project, when they hear about Scrum, Agile, they think this is IT, this is tech. Agile, trust me, Agile, when you become a project manager and you get into Agile, it doesn't even have to do work. It will actually change your mindset of how you think about things. Because if you think of everything as a project, for example, you want to travel from wherever you're going to wherever you're going to. You first of all have to plan. You first have to think about your stakeholders, which are the people. Stakeholders means anybody that people are going to be in the car with you, your parents that you're going to inform, you're going to communicate with them and tell them, the people that you're boarding, you have to think about, you have to plan, you have to get on the journey, and your finishing destination is there. So if you think about everything as a project, and you now learn the agile methodology of being a project manager, the agile methodology, and apply it to your everyday life, trust me, your life is going to be different. The way you think about things, like I said, agile is continuous improvement, it's always learning. So you should always be open to always learning. Oh, okay, this is happening this way. Why don't we be agile and nimble and move things this way? So one thing the misconception people have is that agile is just for tech. No, agile. Before right now, like I said, I'm working in engineering software industry. That's what we do. Before that, I was working in telecommunications as a project manager, still as a project manager, which I used IT, which I used Agile for. I worked in telecommunications. Before that, I did construction. Before that, I worked in what do you call this thing? Government. What do you call this government people? Yeah. I worked for the government for a while. So you can use it in any sector. And another thing that misconception people have about Agile is that Agile is how do I put it? It's for software developers, right? So Agile is not for software developers. Agile is for every project manager. I think right now, every company possibly that I know, they're revolutionizing their industry. So since COVID, everybody's changing to Agile because that's when people start working from home. That's what it means for a company to be agile, because they improved, they learned. COVID happened, everything had to shut down, and so people had to go home. But the agile companies, people that thought about, oh, we could worked from home. Plenty of companies shut down because they were not agile, they were not nimble, they were not fast to improve. There was no continuous improvement methodology in the company. So they were quick to shut down. So That's the thing. That's another thing. Another thing people have, another misconception people have about Agile when you get into Agile is that Agile is a methodology. No, Agile is a manifesto that has many other methodologies under it, right? So when we talk about Agile, like we've said previously, we have Kanban, we have the Lean Six Sigma, we have Scrum. So Agile is a manifesto. That's why they have a book actually called the Agile Manifesto that encompasses the various methodologies under Agile. I could go into various things like people think Agile is cheaper and faster, Agile needs no planning, but this is more on the technical side of Agile. But these are few misconceptions people have about Agile, that it's just for software, which I'm here to debunk, and I'll tell you that working in various industries, I've used Agile for various things. And if you know project management or you know anything about project management, there is the waterfall and there's the Agile methodology. And when you're in an industry where you need to do things fast, you could mix the two together, which we have the hybrid methodology, where you have a mixture of Agile and waterfall, and you can use the hybrid. So I'm doing a project where I have to use Agile methodologies for some part of the project. Regularly, when I came into the company, it was waterfall they used for the project. But coming with the Agile mindset, I was like, no, why are we waiting to do A before B? We can just do C, D, E while we're waiting for A to be done, and B is going to be done. So Agile, like I said, is a mindset, and I think everyone needs to have the Agile mindset in their day-to-day life. And don't think it's just for software. You can use it to get into tech, because it's mostly software. It's mostly software companies that use it, or software companies use it. Most companies are changing and adopting Agile, but it's not just for software companies. It's for everybody, and it helps you in your day-to-day life. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Emmanuel. So Emmanuel mentioned that Agile is a mindset, right? It's not just all about using it to break into the industry. It's something that is going to even change your everyday way of thinking, all right? So you are constantly thinking, okay, how do I make this thing better? Constantly getting feedback from people and improving your own self from that aspect. All right, thank you for that, Emmanuel. So finally, from your own aspect, before we now close out with Jabril. So what advice would you give to someone that is just trying to get into Agile without any background? What steps can you tell the person, okay, this is what you need to do for you to get into this Agile industry?
So if you want to break into Agile, I think you need a couple of skills and training, first of all. That's undisputed. You need a couple of skills and training. But you need to, within your skills and training, you need to understand, first of all, what is project management. Then you need to understand the different parts of project management, which is specified on Agile. You need to understand, because there's some project management is the umbrella that covers everything. But Agile is a specification, or like I said, it's a different part of project management. It's a different kind of project management. You manage projects differently. So if you're trying to get into Agile, just try and get the skills, previously what we mentioned, try and get the skills, try and get mentors, look towards taking certifications. There are easy certifications you could take. You can look at your mentors to tell you that certifications where you don't need much to take it. Then look towards taking things like your CSM or your PSM, or other methodologies under Agile, like your Lean Six Sigma, green belt, black belt, whatever belt you want to take. You can start from there. So basically, you just have to get your skills. You're just coming from, get the skills, get the training, then start looking into Agile. Don't focus your mindset on, oh, I'm looking for tech. If you want to go into tech, fine. But like focus on looking for an Agile, looking for a project manager job in various industries. And when you get into those industries and you eventually land your job, use your Agile mindset that you have learned over the couple of whatever period before you landed the job. Use the Agile mindset that you have gained and harnessed to make changes to your roles. And trust me, your everyday project will be much easier.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much for that, Emmanuel. Hi, Khadija. Please, you need to bring up Josephine as she's on the call at the moment also. Okay, so Emmanuel mentioned a couple of things that you need to get a couple of skills and training if you are looking to break into Agile. You need to get a couple of skills and training. You need to get skills and also mentors. And of course, you need to get certification. So I love the way he structured his own response because it started with skill and training, mentors, and then certification before you can be able to know that you are into business. All right, so I'm going to ask you the same question, Jabril. So what advice are you going to give to anyone that's trying to break into the tech industry from the Agile project management track?
All right. Thanks, Chukwemeka. I think to be very honest, Emmanuel has done a lot of justice. So whatever I'm gonna say, I'm going to be repeating on top of what he has been saying. But just like I've said earlier on, you have to leverage on your existing skills. So look at the soft skills that you currently have. So look at what you do currently. Look at the the skills that are easily transferable for you to literally just transfer into the Agile what's it called, project management. Then from there, you literally see that what you need to do is not a lot of work. So from there you can move on, start trainings, just like Emmanuel said, get your certifications, because again, you might have the skills and the certifications, but you might not have the experience. So you need to know how to just balance it. That's what I'm trying to say, is because you are coming into to an industry that's a bit new to you. So you have to have something to get into the industry, basically. So taking those trainings and having that certification is really a very good way to start. But then again, you also have to be intentional. You have to be practical. So take introductory courses, get introductory courses, free courses that you can, anything that has to do with tech, just try as much as possible to absorb, get into that mentality of, this is what I want to do, so I have to be this intentional. So go out of your way, do your own research, take introductory courses as much as you can, even books as well, if you can. Then importantly as well, join communities, either on LinkedIn, whether it's on what's called social medias, whether it's on anywhere that you can literally get a community of people that come together, and people that you're probably going to be on the same track with, or people that that you will want to be part of. So join those communities as much as you can. Again, if you have opportunity to know someone that is into the Agile project management, you can consult them. If you feel like you can take up the mentorship to literally mentor, just once in a while, talk to them, ask for advice, know what to do, just so that you can know that, oh, you have a bar that you are literally looking at, and this is where you want to be, and even above. So yeah, by all means, get someone that you can talk to, that can give you advice and whatnot. Importantly, you can make it as your own Agile project as well, moving into tech or moving into Agile project management. Just make it as your own mini project, just like everyone has been saying on this call. When you are in Agile, the whole point of Agile framework is basically to be doing things in chunks, delivering value in chunks. So you can say, oh, the first 1 month, oh, I want to be able to maybe get free courses as much as I can, and take to get more understanding of tech. And then probably next month, or I'll register for a training, I get certified or something like that. Do it small little by little, so that you don't get overwhelmed. Again, the important thing is you already know what the bigger picture is. So just try and take baby steps. And then lastly, this is what I'm going to close out with, is networking. So by all means, wherever you know that there are a bunch of Agile project managers or Scrum Masters, get yourself in there, because that's the only way that you can get into the world. Because again, from there you can meet someone that knows someone, easily get you information, get you things that get you into that particular industry. It is very, very important. You can have all the skills that you want, you can have all the qualifications that you want. Believe me, if you don't have that networking skills, if you don't reach out, you're going to be missing on a lot of things. So yeah, I hope I've not bored you with a lot of things.
No, that's
Back to
totally
you.
fine, Jabre. Thank you so much. So Jabre said a couple of things, but it still boils down to get the skills, get the experience, get the, I think you said something different, networking. No matter where you found yourself, make sure you join a community of Agile project managers, because that's the easiest way for you to be able to break in. So Josephine is back. Josephine, I'm just going to ask you one of the questions that is in the chat box. So please know that this question is for you. I think Babs too, he's been asking, how can one get a job or interview as a Scrum Master? I know this is dicey. How can one get a job or interview as a Scrum Master? And also, where and which platform can one learn Scrum? All right, so that is it for you, Josephine. Hi, Josephine, are you there? Hope Josephine is back. Okay, Josephine, if you are speaking, we can't hear you. Okay, I think Josephine is still having challenges. So I'm going to take that for you, Babs. All right, I'm going to take that for you, Babs. But if you stay on the call to the end, you're going to see how you can land a job and interview as a Scrum Master. Right, that's why I've not answered the questions. So make sure you stay. We're going to scratch it and also, talk deeply into everything that you need to know for you to be able to land that exact job, and also how you can learn. So most of the questions that we have here, just stay on the call and we are still going to answer it. Okay, so we are moving to the next phase of this exact discussion. So thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Josephine. Thank you so much, Jabre. It's been a fantastic discussion with each and every one of you tonight. So I'm going to bring up my screen and continue to share this exact nugget to everyone. So I'm going to bring up my screen and continue to share everything that we've packaged for everyone. So like everyone on the call have rightly mentioned, there is need for you to get the skill and training. And it's also part of the things that we here at Analytics that we offer to the general public. All right. And for our Agile Project Management program, this is part of the things that you stand to gain. And that is it's 100% online virtual instructor-led program. So you're going to have someone like Jabre, someone like Josephine in class speaking to you, teaching you everything that you need to know pertaining to this exact program. And it runs for 4 months, which means you're going to have like 10 classes, more than 10 classes with more than 20 topics. And it provides you the job visibility that you need. And the amazing thing about this exact class is that it is hands-on practical sessions. So if you're having anything pertaining to, okay, you're talking about product backlog, you're instantly being hands-on on Jira and being able to handle it. And of course, like Justin also mentioned, we all want the money. And that is part of the things that this program is going to position you for in the nearest future. It's not all about saying, oh, I want to be an APM. You have to do the work, learn it, and then transition. And also for the certification aspect, most of the things that you are going to be learning in the class will also position you to landing your PSM certifications, all right? And you have lifetime access to the materials that we're going to use in the classes. And of course, the project-based aspect is really, really important. Your portfolio is part of the things that is going to speak dearly for you. For instance, if I have a car and I go to the mechanic workshop and the person is telling me, oh, I have a degree from Harvard, bring your car, let me repair. And I can't see any single car or any evidence of anything that person have done, clearly I'll be scared to give the person my car. And that's the same way that people build their portfolios to show evidence of work done. So if you, as an Agile project manager, have evidence of things that you've learned and put it in your portfolio, that is to show that you can confidently prove yourself worthy of anything that you want to learn. Like I mentioned, the program is for 3 months, where you learn it's for 4 months rather, where you learn massively in the classroom for 3 months and have an internship experience where you also get to build other projects for 1 month. Okay, I hope people are still following me to this very moment, because I'm going to, in the next couple of minutes, dive right into things that we're going to cover in the class to help you prepare for most of these aspects, all right? So if you're still here and you're still listening to us, please drop something in the chat box so that I'll be sure that people are here listening to what we are saying, all right? If you are still here, you are liberty to drop anything in the chat box so that I'll be sure that I'm still speaking to people. I can see here from Best Harry, fantastic. Okay, hey, from Uchenna, amazing. Still here from Amaka, fantastic. So this is giving me the spirit to go ahead. And please make sure that you feel the attendance that my colleague Glory is dropping in the chat box, because that's what's going to give you access to this exact video and the recording of this slide. All right. So for the Agile Project Management class, we already understand who Agile Project Manager is. Basically, this is a coach or a facilitator for a team that is working on a project using the Agile method. Right. So under project management, like everyone have mentioned, we have the waterfall and we have the Agile project, Agile aspects, right? The waterfall is like you working using the old method, while the Agile is like you working iteratively, the modern aspect of project management to make things happen. And the key learning area you're going to have in the class includes introduction to project management, where you get to understand this framework. You're going to understand both the waterfall and also understand the Agile. Remember, like Emmanuel also mentioned, there are instances where you have need to work using the hybrid format. All right. And for you to work using the hybrid format, that means you are bringing something from project management, the waterfall, and you're bringing something from Agile and being able to use both of them to work. And then after it, I'm also going to move into project management skills and communication. Because as an Agile person, there is need for you to communicate. I think it's Emmanuel that also mentioned that you need to develop a strong communication skill. Because most time, as an Agile person, you are going to be speaking to people, right? You are going to be speaking to people. You are going to be speaking to the stakeholders, trying to gather requirements, trying to do a couple of other things, right? And that simply means you need to understand the skills and the avenues for you to communicate effectively. And that's before we move into foundations of Agile and Scrum. Foundations of Agile and Scrum, and then how and what exactly is the Scrum framework. And this is where we're now bringing into the various Scrum artifacts that exist, the increment, the sprint backlog, and the product backlog. For instance, you want to cook jollof rice. This is Josephine's line. That's what she always love to use as an example. If you want to cook jollof rice right now, what are the various ingredients that you are going to use to cook that rice? You have your onion, you have your water, you have your oil, you have your pepper, you have your spices, and so on and so forth. And you've bought all these and you've kept it in the backlog. That's the same way that when companies want to build any product, they first of all demystify it into various parts. For instance, you want to create you want to build a mobile app, right? And you decide, okay, we need the login page. On that login page, what are the various things you need? You need the username, you need the password, you need the forget password. So all these things, after identifying them, you put them in your product backlog, right? So you've identified things that you need to make that exact product come to life. And then gradually you are picking each of them. Okay, let's pick username and push it to sprints. Within that exact sprint interframe, you and your team are working on that exact product backlog. So that's basically how all these things are linked. And you are not going to do this just using pen and paper, right? So you're going to make use of Jira to build all this and be able to demystify and, disintegrate that exact product. And these are things that we are going to give you in the classroom. Like I rightly mentioned, this tech area is fully competence over certification, all right? So even if you have the certification, you still need to get the competence, all right? So the best thing and the best way to learn is always to get the competence first, and then you now move to the other aspects. And that's why every single thing you'll be learning in class is project-based. And after walking into Jira, you're now going to learn the Kanban boards for workflow management. And then how do you measure whether your team is performing well or whether they are performing badly? That's where the velocity chart, the burn down, and the burn up charts comes in. And of course, as an Agile project manager, you are a leader. And that's why we're also going to teach you things pertaining to leadership and real-world application of all these things. Then you now get into the next scale Scrum, and also everything that you are learning is going to prepare you for the professional Scrum Master examination. So like I mentioned before, the learning timeline is for 4 months, where you learn immersively in the classroom for 3 months. And then for the next 1 month, you're going to be having real-life project-based internship experience. So you're going to be virtual, where you also get to work on other projects that you are going to put in your portfolio. Now, the class holds every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The classes hold every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then on Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then someone also asked, is it just after being an Agile project manager, after learning the course, what exactly can I do? So you have various aspects that you can decide to transition into. You can become an Agile portfolio manager, can become a chief project officer, can become an IT project manager. You can be an Agile coach. You can be a Scrum master, of course, can be an Agile delivery lead and also Agile transformation lead. So it doesn't just limit you that you just be a Scrum master. No, it's, however, opens your possibility of jobs that you can also apply into. So please, I may not be able to go through this Scrum Master curriculum that is here, but make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you have access to go through this curriculum. So I'm just going to open it up and show us what we have there. All right, my screen stopped sharing. All right, I'm going to bring it back right now, okay? I'm bringing it up right now. Once you click on that exact link, it's going to bring you to the Agile Project Manager Scrum curriculum. So my screen is coming up shortly, guys. It's coming up shortly so that we can be able to see what I am talking about. It's coming up shortly. All right, so this is coming up. No, is in pronounced trash. I need to be sure that this is here. I need to be sure that this is here. Okay, I need to reconfirm this and make sure that this is available on that exact slide. But guys, please make sure you fill the form so that once it's corrected, we are going to send the slide to everyone and you will have live access to the exact slide that we use and also the recording of these classes. So make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you have access to all this that we are talking about. So when you get into class, how are you going to learn? Right? How are you going to learn? So I'm also bringing up my screen so you can see the various ways that you are going to be learning. For instance, people that are currently in the class, this is part of the project that they are working on. Right? So you can see that these are some of the reports that you will build as an Agile project manager. You are going to work on employee self-service portal development projects. All right, so these are the things that is going to be in your portfolio as things that you've already learned. I know someone asked, how do I get job and interview as an Agile project manager? Do you have evidence of your learning? All right, because the tech area is fully competence over certification. So when you have evidence that you've learned this is the projects you've worked on, even though it's project-based experience, that is how you can easily be able to build up your own portfolio and be able to rub shoulders with people that are also working on other areas. For instance, if someone is an Agile project manager and the person is in financial space, the person basically is working on financial projects. But when you learn using project aspects, you simply have the opportunity to learn using the financial sector, have the opportunity to learn using data from the oil and gas, have the opportunity to learn using data from FMCG and several other sectors. So project-based learning has proven to be an amazing way to learn. I can also see some of the project deliverables that they had. You need to do your sprint backlog and burn down charts, user stories, you need to come up with it, and then also come up with your acceptance criteria to show that, okay, this as the exact project that we are building, once it meets this criteria, it is fully done, right? These are things that we are going to put you through in the classroom. Also, how does the functioning of the employee self-service portal work with core features implemented? And of course, regular sprint reviews and demos, documentation for portal functionalities, and deployment process. So if you're looking to break into this Agile industry, it's important for you to have a portfolio of things that you've done, things that you've learned. How did you learn? Do you have evidence to this? And that is where we come in, because we are going to teach you using the project-based learning approach to make sure that every single topic you are coming across in class, you have a practical application of it that you can comfortably put in your portfolio. So this is using the JIRA that the people in the class were able to come up with. Remember, you as the Scrum Master or Agile project manager, your job is not to coach. So for these projects, you're going to be working with software developers, you are going to be working with business analysts, you're going to be working with data analysts and several other people in the Scrum and the project management team, right? So your job is to use Agile methodology to make sure that you guys build the project from beginning to end. And afterwards, this is what they were able to come up with. They were able to build the employee self portal. And you can see the homepage, you can see the testing that were done. Okay, John Smith is rejected. Once anybody wants to go and leave now, the person can easily log into the portal, make a request, and someone will either approve or reject. So remember, as an Agile person, you are not coding. You are not going to write any single line. It's simply for you to understand Jira, have the real life experience of Jira, and be able to understand Agile methodologies, understand where you need to have your daily Scrum, understand where you need to have your demos, and be able to say, okay, this is the sprint that we're going to have. We're going to have a 2-week sprint for us to work on this sign-up page, or we're going to have another 2-week sprint for us to work on the back-end page, and so on and so forth. So your job is fully understand the Agile methodology and be able to use it to make sure that your team is working using that exact methodology. And why should you exactly train with us? So we have up-to-date curriculum. So what we always do is that we bring in experts into the house to teach people, right? So you're going to be having people like Jaber, people like Josephine teach you in class using their experience, real life experience. So it's not like someone has gone to school, crammed and is out. So he's using the project that they have learned, using the way that things are going in the current economy, in the current company. That is how they are going to teach you. And our curriculum is up to date because we always bring people that it is happening to them at the moment. So we always bring Scrum Master that's in the environment. They know how the things have shaped and know how they need to go about it. And also industry experts with hands-on experience. So for any topic you are going to be learning, it's going to be a project-based learning. And we have a blended training delivery that we have live classes, right? So the way we are talking to you right now, that's the same way someone is going to be talking to you live during Saturday classes. And then the classes is also recorded that if you miss the class, you have access to go back to the video and watch it. And this is lifetime access that you have. Also, we provide employability services to make sure that you land a job. Someone asks, how do I land a job after doing all these things? So getting the technical skill is not the only thing. You need to also be able to get the employability skills, right? And then the internship is also made to be sure that you get to have the simulated work life, real work environment to help you work properly as an Agile project manager. You know, sometimes when we have people doing our internship and they're coming up with challenges, oh, Chukwemeka, this is not working, this is not that. I'm always sort of telling them, in the real life experience, you're going to have these challenges. As a Scrum Master, if you're talking to your team, oh, software developer, come, let's do this. The person is going to say, I'm working on this or that, and I'm doing this one. So how do you handle all those challenges? These are things that we simulate in the class during your internship experience to make sure that you land that exact role. So like I mentioned, there is a winning formula that we give to our students to be able to land a job. I don't know whether Babs is still on the call, and that is technical skills plus employability skills. Technical skills plus employability skills. You've gotten the classroom teaching, the internship experience, but also how do you package yourself to be able to land a job? There are various employability skills that is needed out there, and that is what we also provide to you, starting with CV review sessions. So we are going to work with you, give you, teach you how you can be able to match your CV to the job that you are applying to, right? So you're going to match your CV to the job that you're applying to. In the event that you want to go for any role, you can comfortably be able to modify your CV. The mistake that people make these days is that, for instance, the same CV you are using to apply to Scrum Master role, that's what you're using to apply to a Kanban role, that's what you're using to apply to project manager role. So you need to be able to tailor your CV to the exact job specifics. And these are things that will put people in the class to understand. And also the LinkedIn optimization session, how do you position yourself that people are now going to reach out to you? For instance, I reached out to Emmanuel through LinkedIn. And if his LinkedIn is not optimized, someone is not going to reach out to him. All right. So you need to be able to learn how do you position yourself that people are going to be reaching out to you. right? And also, how do you stay in your own locality and working contractual based using Upwork? And most important thing, how do you navigate the job market? Where we bring in expert recruiters into the classroom to teach you all these things. And also the job and interview prep sessions, where when you land a job interview, we're also available to bring in all these experts to prepare you for that exact interview using the SIT approach or the STAR framework. Right? For instance, if someone have asked you situation-based question, which is STAR framework, that's what you're going to use it. Situation, task, achievement, and result. For instance, you've gone for an interview that are asking you, hi Chukwemeka, please can you tell us a moment in the past where you've been able to use Jira to come up with your user stories and then move them to the sprint and conclude end to end. What we are going to speak is just simple. Using that exact STAR framework, situation, task, achievement, and results. Situation is why you were consulting with analytics. You were able to work on this social projects. You were worked on Shopalytics, where you guys have to build a platform for people to online shopping. All right. And during that exact thing, you're able to identify the initial products and you're able to break it down into the product backlog. So for that exact Shopalytics platform, you broke it down into the login page, the username, the sign-up page, and so many other things. And then move it to product backlog. Then from there, you are picking each of those products and pushing to sprint. And your sprint was for 2 weeks. And because of that, your team performed really well because you were constantly checking up on them using your daily stand-up meetings where you have the daily meetings and ask for impediments that they are having. So when you speak like this, people will know that you know what you're speaking because if you use the situation, the task that you carried out, the achievement is you were able to meet with the project timeline, and then the result means that the company deployed this Agile project and they were able to improve your revenue. So when you speak like this, recruiters are going to say, okay, this person is actually speaking what he or she has done in the past. And you also have the availability, the opportunity rather, for recommendation and reference letter. Remember when I talked about the job interviews, I mentioned why you were consulting with analytics. Because we also get consulting roles, and because these projects we are working on are real life projects, we only codify it sometimes to give to our students to work on, but it simply means that you are consulting with us and we are available to provide reference and recommendation letters to you anytime that you need it. And also weekly mentorship sessions where we bring in experts to the classroom also to mentor you on the trends that is currently existing in the tech industry, in the Scrum ecosystem, and on the job support that when you land a role, 1 month into that exact job, we are available to give you support until you find your fitting. And all these things is to make sure that you get to your number 3, level 3 rather, which is at least you will get one job interview 1 month after you are done training with us. So the person that asked, how do I get jobs? This is exactly the framework that we use. We give you the technical skill, we give you the employability skill, and then we position you fully to land a role. But people still ask for, how can I do this within 4 months? Right? So this is simply it. First of all, you've identified your desired tech career. All right. So next thing is for you to register with a learning partner and educate yourself. Right? You need to start learning the skills and develop the capacity in this exact project management side. Right? And next is learn using project-based experience. Right? You need to learn using project-based activities. And that's where all your key learning areas in the classroom, we are going to have a project attached to it that you are learning. And then level 4 is simply gain employability skills. Level 5 is networking. So Jabret touched on this, that as a project manager, the easiest way for you to scale up is to also network. Events like this, that instantly you have over 50 people on the call. If this is a normal class, it simply means that you have access to 50 project managers, and that they are scattered across the globe. You have people in UK, US, Canada, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and so on and so forth. And of course, the mentorship aspect. I know Emmanuel mentioned this, that it is important for you to have someone that is telling you this is your right and this is your left. And once you do this, definitely it is going to help you land a role. And that brings me to telling you that the next cohort that we have is starting on the 7th of September 2024. So our next class is starting next weekend. And I have an amazing offer for you. So the program is for $750, right? It is for $750, but we have a 20% discount currently going on for the first 20 people to register from this exact class, right? So instead of paying $750, you are going to pay $600. Instead of paying £625, you are going to pay £500. Instead of paying 730 euros, you are paying 580 euros. And instead of paying 1,125 CAD, you are going to just pay 900 CAD. And sometimes people I want to secure this my spot before it's over. And that's why we have the instrumental options that you can instantly say, okay, make your first payment, secure your spot. So you can make $400 and secure this exact spot. Then 1 month into the program, you can now make the $200 completion. You can pay £350, secure your spot. 1 month into the program, you pay the extra 150. You can pay 400 euros, secure your spot. Then 1 month later, you pay 180 to complete. Same thing with the card. You can pay 600 cards to secure a spot. And then 1 month into the program, you can pay your 300 extra. So I'm quickly going to show us how we can be able to make this payment. All right, so simply click on that exact link that my colleague is dropping. All right, so when you click on that link, it's going to take you to the main Stack store. Right, it's going to take you to the main Stack store. So in the main Stack store, you're going to see a couple of products that we are selling in this store. But you that's interested in Agile project management, what you simply have to do is look for Agile project management. Okay, my screen is delaying a little bit, but it's going to come up. All right, so what I have to do is look for APM, Agile project management, and simply click on it. All right, my screen is going to come up shortly, and we are going to see this. I don't know why it's delaying to come up. It's going to come up and then we're going to see it instantly. Okay. All right, so why I'm still waiting for it to come up, once it's up, you're going to see that you can just click on the product that you want to buy, which is Agile Project Manager. I know someone asked a question pertaining to business analytics and others. So we offer several other programs, all right, like Khadija that you mentioned in the beginning. But for this class that we have, is fully just for Agile Project Management. So what I have to do is look for Agile Project, which is this one, Agile Project Management, and click on it. So once you click on it, it's going to take you to the checkout page, right? So it's going to take you to the checkout page. And what you simply have to do at this point is to put your details and check out. So what happens here also is that it picks your current location, right? So currently I am in Nigeria, so you can comfortably see that it is going to show me my pricing in Naira, which is 1 million. All right. But if you are in UK, you're going to see your pricing in pounds, US, you're going to see it in dollars. If you're in Canada, you're going to see it in CAD. Right? So what I simply have to do is click to reserve a seat. So once you click to reserve that seat, what you have to now do is put your name. So my name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa. So I simply have to put my name, Chukwuemeka Ekpa, put my email address, then put a random phone number. Okay, first of all, select the country flag, which is Nigeria that I'm currently in. So once you select Nigeria, MN, sure, I've forgotten where Nigeria is. So just look for Nigeria, which is this, and then put your phone number, let me put just random number, and click pay for product. Right. So once you do this, you've instantly been able to get to almost the finishing line. So what you have to do at this point is to either use your card to make payments, which is put your card details here, expiry date, CVV, and pay, or you go to the transfer section, copy the account number here, go to your bank account and transfer the money, and that is all. So simply, this is the easiest way for you to make payments. I hope that is clear. So like that, you've been able to make payments and secured your spot. So remember, this is just for the first 20 people to register, all right? That's people that have the ability to use this discounted amount. Once that 20 slot is filled, it is fully off. And I can show you that right now, the slot is not much because 20 into Scrum is not a heavy duty to fill. All right. So I always advise make sure you secure your spot using the first payment option or second payment option so that by the time you come back, you're not going to hear, oh, the slot is fully filled. I hope that makes sense to someone. So all these things always seem impossible until it's done, which is why we have a couple of success stories here. People that have been able to transition from one role to the other. I mean, you heard Josephine. Josephine moved from being a content creator into becoming a Scrum Master, all right? And also, Emmanuel moved from being in political science into also becoming a Scrum Master. So all these things are possible, and we have success stories to back this up. So make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you get access to this slide and also get access to the recording that we are using for this exact class. I don't know if at this point, if anyone has a question, you are free to use the raise hand icon and ask me your question, or you can drop it in the chat box and I'm going to pick it up from there. Because I think SGW, is this discount meant for only Scrum or the entire program offered? Okay, SGW is for our entire program, all right? So the discount is for the entire program that we are offering, all right? It is for all of them. It's just that tonight, we are here to talk about how to break into the tech industry without writing any single line of code. And that is where Agile project management comes in. So if you have any question, please, you are free to use the raise hand icon or drop your question in the chat box and I'll pick it up from there. Okay, Edith is asking, where is the no Naira account you are selling to Nigerians? Fantastic question. There should be a Naira account. All right, so Edith, once you use the main stack link, it picks your geolocation, all right? It picks your location and gives it to you in that exact currency. So if you're in Nigeria, just click on that link and you're going to see your pricing in Nigeria. If you're in US, click on the price on the link and you're going to see your pricing in dollars. So it's geo-tagged that it picks your location and gives you the pricing in that exact location. Okay, I think I have a couple of questions because I'm interested in data analysis. Okay, that's nice, SDW. So that same way, once you go to the main stack store, click on that exact link and you will see the data analytics track. Click on it and complete your own payments. I don't know if anyone has any question before we start rounding up for the night. Do you have any question from anyone whatsoever? We still have Josephine, we have Jabril on the call. Please, if you have any question, feel free to raise the raise hand icon and we are going to take it, or drop it in the chat box and we're also going to take it. All right, the floor is yours, guys, now. Any question from anyone? Or we understood every single thing clearly? Okay, I think there's a couple of chats. Let me quickly look and see. Perfect. Thank you, Chukwemeka SDW. Okay, that's nice. Can a construction project manager engage in this program? Fantastic. All right, I'll leave Josephine. I don't know whether Josephine is there. Josephine, are you there?
Oh my God, I'm so sad this evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so you know what? I'm just going to say the sub stories and go straight to it. Yes, a construction project manager can engage in this program, and why you need it is to upskill. Now, there is a misconception out there that project managers are more of a manual set of people and they don't earn more. And it's not entirely true, but the truth of the matter is this is a fast-paced world where things are moving very fast, and organizations are looking at delivering with speed in the marketplace. So what you need to do as a construction project manager is to join this program to scale. You need agile skills. You need to understand the methodology. You need to understand the principle, the concept. So adding agile, if you go to LinkedIn, I mean, these things are verifiable, right? So go to LinkedIn right now and you just filter for project manager jobs. You're going to be seeing a lot of agile project manager roles and other roles that are also within the scope. And, you know, I'm always going to talk about the money. Let's not even pretend, guys. You know, yeah, money is it. Let's talk about it. So look at how much a project manager earns and look at how much an agile project manager earns. The difference is clear. I'm a Scrum Master today. The difference is clear. I don't even feel intimidated when I see how much software engineers earn, because I mean, it's not different from what I earn as well. So it's about upskilling, moving from the point where you are and getting to another point where as Chukwemeka said, you have employability skills where you are not afraid to see job for project managers and apply, and also see jobs for agile project manager and apply as well. So you are available for total project manager role. So yeah, you should sign up immediately if you ask me. Thank you.
All
Chukwemeka.
right. Yeah. I think someone called my name. All right. Thank you so much for that, Josephine. I think while Josephine was answering, we also have a couple of other questions that dropped. Let me quickly look at it. As someone who lives
Can I
outside
take
of
them?
Yes, please.
Can I
I'll
take
bring them up. Yeah, as someone who
Okay.
lives outside of Canada but wants to pay, okay, this one is for me, but wants to pay in Naira, please, how can I do that? I have my money in Naira or more. All right, so why we always advise people to pay in their own currency is simple, right? So if you are making payments in Naira right now, we are going to see that this person is from Nigeria, all right? And if we are sending jobs to this exact individual, there's likelihood that we're going to be sending Nigerian jobs to you, right? But when the payment comes from your geolocation, that's when we try to send jobs that is related to your location to you also, right? But it's simple. You can also make payments in Naira and be able to clarify this. What you need to do is you simply need to find someone that will have to use the main stack link for you and make the payments. And then you now send to us that you are the one that made that payment, okay? So because after making payments, you have to upload your receipt at the end, right? So what you have to do is simply get someone that will do this, and then that is simply it. We want to work with geolocations so that we can be able to give you things that is attributed to your own location. I hope that is clear for you, Omo. Okay, Amaka is asking, what can an individual already with a PSM certificate do to secure a job? What if she needs just internship? Fantastic. I think this one is for me also, Josephine. So because
you know what?
all right, you can go ahead.
Sorry,
You can go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, because
All right.
I know you need to take the internship part, and I know
Yeah.
Emmanuel and Jibril have done justice. But let me just chip this in. Okay, apologies. Let me just chip this in. When it comes to certification, experience and training will trump certification any day, anytime. So asking for internship is also like jumping the gun. Certification is the icing on the cake. You need the cake. Can you eat the cake without the icing? Obviously, yes, you can. You need to be filled up. But icing makes it all interesting. So what you need, you've gotten the certification, where to go, thumbs up. I love you for doing that and taking that step. But right now, you need to understand the certification that you've gotten and then get hands-on experience that would help you land a job. And at this time, I'm just going to pass it up to Chukwemeka to talk about the internship.
All right, thank you so much for that, Josephine. So like Josephine rightly mentioned, you need the cake, and then certification is the icing on it. That is why from our own side of things also, we'll have a couple of people coming to us, oh, I have the certification, I want to do just internship. But once they come into the class to do internship, you're asking them, okay, use Jira to come up with your own product backlog, be able to build it on Jira. And they are not able to do these things. And that's the instance that you start seeing is not all about certification. So in the end, it means that we have to teach them how to use all those all the tools again, and then bring them to internship. So most time it's a backward movement, right? People always come, oh, I have certification, all right? But do you have the skill and the tools knowledge? Most time people do not. So we always sell it as a joint product. The training, the internship, they all come together. We don't just, okay, we're selling an internship to you for now until we can have a means to be assessing people's level of skill. And if your skill doesn't meet that criteria, we'll just drop you off. But for now, it's a joint project, training and internship and also employability skill. So what you have to do, Amaka, is you have to take it as you are doing a refresher program. So if you already have the skills, see that you are doing a refresher program and refresh every single thing that you've had, acquire and build a portfolio through this exact means, get the employability skills also, and move to internship. Then with your certification already as a PSM, you already have, the door is open for you to start firing on. Okay. So Uchenna is asking, I'm a complete novice in tech, but I'm just curious about getting used to the ethics. I want to be properly guided in order to come out as a full-blown data analyst. All right, so Uchenna, this is a Scrum discussion, but I'm going to quickly talk on it. So we can help you transition into data analytics. All right. So what you have to do is fill the attendance form, and we're going to invite you to a clarity call. So on that clarity call, we talk about all the programs that we offer, and we're going to take this exact question for you. All right. So make sure you fill the attendance form, attend the clarity call, and we're going to tell you how you can be a full-blown data analyst. Okay, Omo, I believe I've answered your question as someone who lives outside Nigeria. Okay, I think that is all. Okay, Jeremiah is asking, please, I'm also a novice in tech, and I'm curious about the ethics so I can be a full-blown cybersecurity agent. All right, Jeremiah, that's nice. So what we have to do for you is also come for the clarity call. All right, make sure you fill the attendance form and come into the clarity call. Personally, I will talk to you about what cybersecurity is all about. All right, so don't entirely go above what the scope of this discussion is. All right, so join the clarity call, fill the attendance form, and we'll bring you to a one-on-one conversation. We are going to make it clear for you. Okay, almost saying I'm a student. I'm getting fund from Nigeria. I don't have someone. Okay. What I'll have to do for you is someone is going to reach out to you. Please confirm that you fill the attendance, and please drop the name that you fill the attendance with so that someone will reach out to you with respect to this Agile challenge. All right, so please, you can unmute and also tell me your name, or you can drop your full name so that we'll reach out to you and see how we can sort out this issue you're having. Okay, are you there? Are you there? Okay, I think I've taken all the questions that is in the chat box. I'm quickly going to see if I can ask Omo to unmute so that she can tell me. Omo, I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead to speak, Omo. Hi, Omo. Okay, I don't know whether she's still there, or you can drop your full name, the name you registered in the attendance form. Just drop the name you registered in the attendance form so that we can be able to reach out to you after this exact call pertaining to the payment challenges. Right, so Omo, just simply type in the name you put in the attendance form so that we can reach out to you on how to be in a different country and also be able to make these payments.
This is me. I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Judith Martins, and I currently live outside of Nigeria as a student somewhere out of Nigeria. So I said I get my money from Nigeria, and I'd like to pay in Naira.
All right. So someone is going to reach out to you and walk you through these specifics, okay? So the name in the attendance form is Judith Martins, right?
Okay, let me just go ahead and fill it now because I've not filled it before.
All right, please do fill the attendance form so that someone will reach out to you with details there and be able to communicate to you everything that you need. Okay, thank you so much, Omo. So everyone, if you are just joining, make sure that you fill the attendance form because that's what guarantees you that you're going to get the slide and also get a recording of this exact session so they can comfortably go through it on your own and assimilate every single thing that I've had to say tonight. I don't know if there's any other question from anyone before we call it a night. Chigozrim, how much is the amount in Naira? Okay, so the Naira equivalent is 1 million. All right, it is 1 million. What we used to do is we floated it and we found out that okay, at a point was over. So we now had to peg it to 1 million Naira. If you do conversion of $600 to Naira, it's way above 1 million at the moment, but we pegged it at 1 million. Okay, thank you so much. Is there any chance to get on one-on-one talk about my PM journey? I filled the form yesterday already. Adobe, all right, you can, all right? So we are also going to send out a link for people that want a clarity call. So make sure that when that link comes out, that you fill that exact form. Because with that form, we invite you to a one-on-one conversation and we are going to, speak freely on that exact class. Okay, so we'll send it out. I believe you should be in one of our WhatsApp rooms. So we'll always send it to all those rooms and get people to fill that form at that OB. But if you don't mind also dropping your full name at the OB or the name you use in the attendance form so that specifically I'll make sure that we reach out to you and have a one-on-one conversation on how you can start your PM journey. Okay, I think Angie is saying, okay, thank you so much, Premeka. This was clearly delivered. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate it. Angie, I need one, please. Okay, thank you. Yes, I am. Please, if you need one-on-one conversation, make sure you fill the attendance form so that someone will also reach out to you. All right? Okay, make sure you fill it so that someone will reach out to you. We've come to the end of this exact class. I hope we've all been able to learn everything that we need to know. Okay, I hope we've all been able to grasp at least what Agile project management is all about. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you in the class come 7th September. Please make sure you fill the attendance form so you can go through this slide and see all the success stories of people that have been able to walk through this journey before you. Can see every single thing that you need. Okay, I think the person that was talking about, okay, Ini is not on this exact slide. I wanted to speak about Ini Akpabio. Ini had 10 years of experience, but what he needed was just the employability skills. But he had to register for the entire program, get through this technical skill, pass through the employability skill. He went for a managerial role and he was given the CEO position. This is just to tell you the opportunities that you have when you're able to refresh the skills that you have. So thank you so much to everyone. And I'm really happy. I'm so happy that we've all been able to walk through this exact journey with me. I always tell people the best time to get into the tech industry is yesterday. The next best time is today. 2024 is about to be over. If you have plans that you want to be, maybe in the early months, you said, oh, I want to transition into the tech industry. You have just 4 months, and this program is for 4 months. What it simply means is that starts September, October, November. November and December is always the peak period when companies open up their company for applications, because that's when people are planning for their 2025 fiscal year. So you need to be able to position yourself to land all those jobs that will come out by November, December, so that by 2025, you can comfortably beat your chest and call yourself a tech bro or a tech sis. But the journey starts today. You need to join a learning partner, and that's where analytics comes in. So thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see each and every one of you come 7th September. Thank you to Jabre, thank you to Josephine, thank you to Emmanuel for being with us till this very moment, and thank you to every other person that's on this call. Good night, guys, and bye for now. I can't wait to see you 7th September. Cheers, guys.